real fun now. So for some of you, this is gonna be like watching paint dry, so you might want to tune out. But for others, this is we're gonna start building the new betas here, and I just got a message from Dave that we got a bunch of, actually he was up in the middle of the night working on these, it looks like, so pretty good. So what we got to do, you're gonna see what happens. This isn't anything like what the coders do. This is just me building what they're sending. So first thing I got to check is the tools branch. This is something that Mark and Dave, I think, are making to for our own company stuff, so they can always have bits of code they can use. I don't know, I'm not smart enough to understand this, sorry guys. So make sure the chat is up. Yep. So there's a bunch of changes on here. So this is this thing you're looking at right here just goes to our code repository, pulls it down onto my local computer, and lets me work on it from there. So looks like Intuition. So there's a new version of Intuition here. I'm gonna build right now. Intuition is on the branch OpenGL GUI update. So that's this one right here. It looks like there's some changes. I'm just gonna hit this twice just in case. So that's Intuition. I'm gonna pop that up, show and explore. Next one is multiband gate on OpenGL. So I'm gonna discard these changes. OpenGL GUI update, and there's some changes there, it looks like. I'll do this twice just because I'm paranoid. I'm probably not supposed to. Show and explore. Dynamic EQ. So there's a dynamic EQ change here, and that is on the side paint branch. So let me get that. Is that an actual? Hold on. Let me just fetch this. I don't see a side paint branch, but I do see a side thread painter. Am I looking at the right thing? Or this is drum EQ. Side thread painter. Okay, so that's drum EQ. I'm gonna grab that. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna discard the changes here. Let me do that later, so I don't mess myself up. So dynamic EQ. Here we go. Dynamic EQ. Stash. Discard the changes. That one is called side paint. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that. Pull it again. Show and explore, and then finally drum EQ. So I'm gonna go back to drum EQ, and that's gonna be on side thread painter. Okay, side thread painter, side thread painter. Here we go. Pulling that down. Show and explore. So let's just make sure we can build these. So first one is Intuition. So let's do Intuition first. Where's Intuition? Right here. Okay. So here's the producer. Enable/screen. It's gonna open up Visual Studio. So this is gonna pull it up in the C++ thing. Okay, so I'm gonna build this VST3. Cross your fingers. So this is Intuition. We're looking to see if it pops up some errors on us. So I know this is like watching paint dry. We're gonna get to some actual fun stuff in a second here. Or not a second, it's gonna be a little while, sorry. Come on. Yay, built. Okay. So I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close the producer. Okay, so we're gonna move those in a second, but let me next get the next plugin so I can do that while we're waiting. Next one is multiband gate. Okay, so here's multiband gate right here. I'm gonna open the producer, open it up in Visual Studio. Again, cross your fingers. So it's the VST3 that I want to build. And you can probably do it without while this thing's still going, but I don't trust it, so I'm just going to wait till it's all the way open here. There we go. So I'm going to rebuild it. Cross your fingers again. And so now I'm going to take Intuition. We go to the builds. I'm looking for our VST3. There it is right there. There's my VST3 folder. So I'm just going to grab it and drag it out of there and make sure that it gives me an error. Yep, so replace or skip files. Yep, so that's what I wanted to do. So that should be sure that that's the new one. So I can close Intuition now. We're waiting on multiband gate to build. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to move this out of the way. So once it's done, I'm going to go to the builds folder. In fact, I'm going to just get that ready now. Visual Studio. Oh, it's done. Yay. Okay. I'm going to close that. Close the producer. Next one is Dynamic EQ. So I'm going to open the producer. This is getting old, right? Open Visual Studio. Okay. Rebuild. Okay, now I have. Okay, so here's multi-band gate. Is that built? So 64 release builds, VST3. Here's the VST3. I'll drag that in there. Replace the file. Yep. There we go. Can close that. Dynamic EQ is building right now. I'm gonna get this ready. So builds, Visual Studio, X64, and release. And when this thing says finished, there we go. It's done. VST3. So this is already done. Dynamic EQ. I'm gonna drop in the VST3 folder. And again, we get this one. Replace the file. Yep. Okay, so I can close that. One more is Drum EQ. Drum EQ we haven't had a build of in forever, man. So this is gonna be awesome. Maybe. Now I just jinxed it, right? Okay. So here comes Drum EQ. Here's the producer. That was way later than I thought. I really wanted to have some time to play with this Helix today. Okay, just waiting for this to open all the way. Okay. Cross your finger. Oh, there we go. Unable to create. Okay, let me make sure I did this right. So there's the kind of errors I was expecting to get on all of these, honestly. So let's just go back to here. So let me make really sure. Tools branch is side thread painter. Okay, and Drum EQ is on. Drum EQ should be side thread painter. I'm gonna discard the changes. I'll do this one more time. Bummer. I'm gonna see if something weird is going on in here. Sometimes, I'm gonna look in the Visual Studio. Yeah, see that might be the problem. I'm just gonna ditch that. Let's see what happens this time. hopefully that's the whole problem. We're gonna take a look. Let's see. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad, right? Rebuild this. Look in the Pro Juicer if there's anything else goofing here. Oh yeah, look right there. Oh yeah, this is gonna fail too. Okay. We gotta turn off this client copy step. I gotta get rid of these paths. There might be something else still yet in here. I'm gonna disable this. I don't want to see anything there. That shouldn't be there. So it's gonna, yep, fail right there. It might still be there though, so I'm gonna go check that in a second. Hold on. I'm gonna go to builds. So this is a thing where at the end of it, it automatically copies it into the VST3 folder for you, which isn't gonna happen. 7/24/2021. This is probably it. So I'm just gonna assume this worked. So I'll let Dave know later on. Oh boy, I don't want to talk to her. Okay. Okay, so this should all be good. Close everything. And get ready. We're gonna open up some actual audio and do something with this. So. Pull up. I'm gonna pull this up. Wow, why didn't that work? Is my G drive missing now? Where's my Google Drive? PC, Google Drive, Drive, shared drives. I wonder why that didn't work. Okay, let's make sure the audio's working here. Okay, we're ready for some crashes. So let's try the new Intuition here. Okay, so check this out. There's my horizontal position. You can do the after. So red is the before and blue is the after. So you can really see what the compressor is doing. I'm going to change the horizontal zoom so it's a little bit slower. So I'm going to loop this. So check this out. It's the pre and the post vertical so you can see them different. It usually works pretty well when they're overlaid over each other like that. Let's give the look ahead a try. So if I make the horizontal scale even more, in fact, let's take the attack to 0. Check out what happens as you move the look ahead. It's really knocking down those beginnings. I mean, you can. This is looking pretty good. So let's check out the hold control. So once that goes, that hold's gonna force it there. That's before you even talk about like the release and stuff. But you can get a real good idea of what's actually going on with this compressor. So if I were to turn up the makeup gain, to fit. So let's bypass this. So without a gate here, you end up with the with just turning up the hi-hats. Okay, so one of the things we got to look out for is these things, the GUI showing at the same time. That's where we're having a lot of trouble with the new. I mean, everybody's going to OpenGL, so it's all going to be there soon, but we're trying to get ahead of this thing. So I'm going to put multiband gate on the kick here. And so here, just looking the key listen. And thanks to one of our users, Jason Zadora or something like that, we got way steeper filters, and we're going to put a transient shaper on here. I'm going to turn the attack all the way up and the sustain all the way down. So if I turn that off, see how much mush there is in there? So now it's just a sharp little thing. Turn off key listen. And if we really want to do this right, we're going to turn up some of the look ahead. Okay, so multi-band gate's working at least, so we're going to let me save this real quick. Staying alphas. Okay, what's next? I'm going to go on the snare bus. I'm going to turn on the new dynamic EQ. Okay, and the last is going to be, I'm going to go right on the snare itself here, and I'm going to try drum EQ. Oh, this guy's having some trouble opening. So this has been a while since we've had an update of this. So take a look. It's a lot prettier now. Let's see how this works. Let me get the resonant frequency of that snare. So that's working. So what's going to happen when we put them together? So here comes intuition. See, before this is really slowing down when you got them all together. Let me try put intuition at 100%. What else we got? Multiband gate. Oh no, it's running pretty good. This was totally sketching out before, but we still got one more. I mean, it's still weird. This OpenGL stuff is weird, but we got one more. Snare bus. Is dynamic EQ, right? So here we go. I mean, it's slowing down a little bit. Let me see how the controls act. Yeah, it's not great. Better than it was. So let me take out one GUI and see. That's much better. Now it's working about exactly as you'd expect. Alright, so it seems pretty good. Alright, Hopefully that's good enough. We'll find out. So I'll see you guys later. I'll figure out some stuff with this Helix.